I am dialed back into IFB. I am dialed back into IFB. Yeah, Damon, we're losing the sight of the wall cloud just because of the terrain, the hills, and everything. But here's the deal. We've got to get north back into Oklahoma. We got to come east and then go back north. What, Kyle? Yeah, so now that we're back in Oklahoma, we got to go north to be able to track this. In the road situation out here with all the rain, we cannot stay on these county roads. They are too dangerous. You never know when you're going to run into flooding. And when we're around here with these huge wall clouds and we're up close and personal with tornadoes, you cannot take chances. So right now it looks like, guys, it looks like a large tornado right there. But again, I can't, because of the terrain, I can't totally confirm that. It appears to be a large tornado, but it could be the wall cloud. But that's similar to what it looked like earlier whenever it was on the ground earlier. But it looks like it's very, very mature circulation. It continues. There's very likely a tornado in that area.
So we'll continue to get both Buck and Michael on that. That's still a tornado, as you can see. Michael's not.
Okay, yeah, there's the tornado. There's the tornado.
Large tornado.
Large tornado. Large tornado.
Not a lot of daylight left, but
large tornado.
See that is a violent tornado. It's on the left-hand side. That is coming in from Michael Armstrong. This right here, this is coming in from Buck King. So both are on this storm surrounding it, and that continues to be a large, violent tornado moving up to the northeast. Still going to be over some open land, but we know that this is someone's land. And Michael, Michael, you're high enough now. We can see down into that cell. That tornado is scraping the ground. Give us an update on what you're seeing. Any homes in the path?
Right. Oh, Damon, this is a listen. Damon, this is a listen. I'm telling you right now, this is an intense tornado. I'm just telling you right now, this is the kind of stuff that can really do very, very significant damage. We're talking about EF3 plus. That's based on the most. It was a strong tornado. Now, whether it actually gets rated that or not, we don't know for sure, because what happens is they come in after the fact, and then they rate the tornado based on the damage. But I'm just telling you, I've seen a lot of tornadoes. I've seen a lot of tornado video. I've been doing this for 20 years, Damon, and this is an intense tornado, and potentially, if it were to hit a home or something like that, and somebody was not taking shelter, this could potentially be a deadly tornado. Very, very dangerous situation here across northwestern Oklahoma, far northern Nellis, Harper County, and then also possibly into Beaver County, as well as this storm is moving to the northeast. I think it's going to be mainly in Harper, from what I can tell.
So this is still a lot of farmland, but there are some homes that are going to be dotting the countryside here in this part of the state. So there's Mike.
Okay, lost audio again. I'm going to reconnect.
This storm continues to still produce a violent tornado.
Sorry guys, it's just this part of the state. This is where it's challenging.
Velocity couplet like that we have at all this spring here in this part of the state. I mean, that right there, that is a bad situation.
It's very strong, Damon. Tight gate to gate. Everything that I see here on radar says this is a very strong supercell. Strong inflow going into it. This is probably going to be a long tracked storm. You can see that with field meteorologist Michael Armstrong. Look like he's just now made the turn north on 283, about ready to, and he's got his 360 cam there. So again, tracking that. Looks like it's going to probably pass. It should stay to the west of me. It's going to be pretty close into the, and right in front of that too, also Buck King. He's also looking at that storm, and he's right at the intersection of 283 and 412. He's west of me. So we have this storm bracketed from two angles. Michael coming in from the south, and Buck King, he is just to the north of it. Eric should tell Buck to stop, not go any further west. Tornado will be right off to his left. You should be able to see it, but Damon, absolutely dominant supercell, very strong inflow, and the problem is there's nothing to impede it. We have very high humidity, instability all in front of it, and it's moving. It's going to just track across northeastern Oklahoma.
My gosh.
Still a real strong storm.
That looks like a wedge.
I'm on IFB. I can hear you guys again.
Michael's shot. That thing is huge. Let's put the radar back up. Let's put the radar back up because Catesby, that is, this is going to barely miss you. I know this is a very small community. There's going to be a church, the Catesby Church is going to be just east of there, but that is a wedge tornado that you see right there in the middle of your television screen coming in from field meteorologist Michael Armstrong and Storm Command. That thing,
yeah, large wedge, yeah.
Horrible looking. Let's hope we can keep this over some rural land, but still, this is someone's land. As you can see right there, that couplet, that is a tight velocity couplet. When you see those bright colors just jumping off the television screen, just screaming at us right now, that right there goes to show you that this is a significant storm. Let's hope that this will split the uprights and stay in between Laverne and May. You never want to see any of these towns get touched here. And even if it's a couple hundred yards outside of these towns, you're back over some open land. But that continues to be a large tornado there on the left-hand side of your television screen. We are going to be now, we're no longer near Follett. If you want to update this, let's put this close to Slap Out, just southeast of Slap Out, right there. There's Slap Out, there's Follett, Texas, or Slap Out, Oklahoma. Now we're coming over the state line here. That's moving up to the northeast, and this is going to cross more than likely back over at least some major roads here in this part of the state. So May, we're watching this closely for you.
Oh, guys, this is a violent tornado, man.
For you as well. Slap Out, the circulation will probably stay at least a couple miles down to the southeast. Laverne, I'm very concerned about the community of Laverne as that storm is moving up to the northeast. So Laverne, now is the time. You need to be going into your tornado shelter right now. I want to go out to Buck King right now. Buck, this is a large wedge tornado that we see. Give us an update on what you're seeing from the ground.
Damon, it's everything that Michael has said it is. It's a very, very large tornado. I can see it on the ground real clear from where I'm at. It's probably about 3 miles south of me. I'm trying to get turned where I can get a good visual of it, but you might be able to see it in my shot now.
Yeah, Buck, we can see it. We can definitely see it there. And so we've got Buck, we've got Michael. Let's go out to Michael Armstrong. Michael, we can still see that wedge tornado. I know the sun is beginning to set, so visually it's getting a little more difficult, but we still have good eyes on it. Michael, give us an update on what you're seeing.
Catesby, okay, it's going to be moving up toward Laverne. I'm very concerned
okay,
about the town
it's
of
going to be
Laverne.
moving up toward Laverne. I'm very concerned about the town of Laverne based on the track. I've been watching this thing for a very long time, and there's the tornado. You can see it clearly on the ground from my shot right now. I'm really concerned for people in Laverne. Listen, you must go to your tornado shelter. You need to get, if you don't have a shelter, you need to get a designated shelter. Then what you need to do is you need to get in the smallest room, lowest level, center part. This is potentially a deadly tornado, Damon. It has been long track. It has been multiple tornadoes, so a family of tornadoes. It has had multiple vortices. It is one of the strongest tornadoes that I've ever seen. And I'm telling you right now, if you live in Laverne, this is what's coming your way. It's dangerous stuff. I'm just going to cue you if that happens. I just can't even believe that. That just leaves me speechless. I don't even know. I mean, it's... Yeah, no, I know. I mean, it's just the thing about it is that as long as it stays over open land, that's the best thing that can happen. But it is enormous.
Give us an update on what you're seeing from the ground.
Yeah, right. Damon, what I'm doing is I'm adjusting the iris.
Yeah, right.
Damon,
what I'm doing is I'm adjusting the iris as the sun sets. What we have to do is change the iris so that you can maintain the visual on it. And then if we're close enough to it, we will switch over to our night vision as well. Damon, that has all the structure of a violent tornado. The wall cloud, you can see with the tail cloud coming into the side of it, and then just a huge tornado there on the left side of the wall cloud.
Hey, Val's here, Val's back. It's on the road ahead of us a mile. All right, David. It's on the ground, maybe 3/4 of a mile to my west right now. We're almost on it. It's a large tornado, and I can see violent motion. I mean, good night, this thing is spinning hard. Violent motion. We're about to get into the rain curtains here. I'm just going to slow down here, and we're going to watch it. Rain curtains, 1/4 of a mile, less than 1/4 of a mile to our northwest. Look at that shot. There's a farmhouse. It's going to miss the farmhouse just barely to the west. Barely missing his farmhouse. A 1/4 of a mile, David, 1/4 of a mile.
Having to swing around.
Here, put on the roof cam. Put on the roof cam.
Sorry, I had to swing around.
Roof cam. All right, roof cam. There it is, right there. It's a 1/4 of a mile. Condensation is on the ground again, David. Condensation. Multiple vortex. Multiple vortex. Good night. It barely missed the farmhouse. Yeah, it's not moving very fast at all. It's moving very slowly to the north. Very slowly north.
May have a new one developing though. Well, there's one good thing I can tell you, and is that now I can see some space between the bottom of the wall cloud. It could still be on the ground as low as it is. It could be multiple vortex under there, so don't let that fool you. You don't always have to have condensation all the way to the ground to have a tornado. So if you're living in Laverne and you're wondering, well, it doesn't look as bad, trust me, just go ahead and take your tornado precautions. Do not take chances with this. This is a very long track storm. It has produced one of the most incredible tornadoes that I've ever seen, and I'm so thankful that it missed a home. We watched it literally a couple of hundred yards down the road as a sheriff had went and tried to warn the people. I don't think there was anybody at home, but it somehow missed the house barely. You'll probably see that video later, but nonetheless, it just what it does is it tells you what this storm is capable of. Its history has been to produce large, violent tornadoes. That's been the history of this storm. Find a place to stop.
But I can't even see. I don't know where it is.
Yeah.
With good view. This is pretty good.
Really got overspread with rain fast.
anywhere you can find. Yep. There's a driver. Yeah, either way.
Okay, maybe it'll
Dash
unwrap.
cam.
Yeah, we just got the wrap just left us. Okay, I'm looking at. Got it. No, I don't see any damage in that house. I do not see any damage in the farmhouse.
There might be power lines down up here.
Right. When we get to our next county line road, we need to go east.
Okay. That's half a mile.
Okay.
So now, stop. I don't know if maybe there's power lines down.
I don't know.
How does our shot look? I'm trying to do something else. Okay, let's go then. Well, I don't see it anywhere. I see the wall cloud, I just don't see it. I mean, well, there could be. We don't know that. If we were up there close, we would know that, but we don't see full condensation down.
I can't believe how dark it is all of a
I
sudden.
know.
Okay, well we have west winds now, so it's gonna be off that direction.
Yeah, I didn't like.
What if you found something?
Hey, oh look up at the sky. Let's see if we can figure it out. Okay, look around. Just look around. The rain's kind of breaking.
Yeah, we have northwest.
What's our wind?
Northwest.
Okay, we'll look to the east. Look to the east.
Okay. Wow, look at this howling.
What do you see?
Well, it's gonna be over here.
It's gonna be to our northeast.
Sure,
Yeah,
yes.
it's light now.
Okay.
Okay, so there is an east road up here.
All right.
Yeah, Damon, this is a difficult situation because we are now starting to rely on lightning more, and you can definitely tell that in the shot here on our 360 camera. Damon, I don't believe there's a tornado right now. There could be some circulation on the ground there. This does not have the same look to it as what it did earlier. I need to scan just a little bit other. I'm going to look with my 360 just ahead real quick. I just want to double check everything around me. It's really important for me to stay aware of everything that's around me. So we're just ahead of it. We're right ahead of the hook echo, and if a tornado does develop again, it's going to be right in here. However, I'm just telling you right now, I see a lot of space underneath the wall cloud, and unless there's multiple vortices dancing around on the ground underneath that, we do not. There still could be a tornado. I'm not saying there isn't. I'm just saying we don't have a fully condensed tornado right now.
Look at our shot right there. You can see that lowering right there. That's looking straight northeast. So we're gonna have to bust north here and see if we can get on the other side of the rain. I'm not seeing power flashes, and I'm just not seeing it at the moment. Anyway, we're gonna keep driving north here. I know there's a lot of wraparound, and our road just turned to mush. I'm talking to mush, but we're gonna try to get up north, further north.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like, I couldn't see one condensed. Now it is. Now it is. Yep, tornado's reformed. Kyle, we need to stop if we can. Is there anybody behind us? It definitely. It's right there. Yep, tornado, and it's another cone tornado that's forming.
See, it's on the ground. Opposite is on the ground.
Oh, I see it.
You see it? Okay.
That's it right there. Got to get
working as fast as I can go.
Put four-wheel drive.
We'll have to stop to do it. Once we get to the road, we won't need it though. But see, I just need to keep going. If we get stopped, I'll get out and do it.
Damon, here's the thing. I just want us to treat it like it's on the ground for a while until it proves to us that it's going to stop producing tornadoes and the wall cloud just goes away. I want everybody in Laverne to just take your precautions and don't take a chance with it. That's my advice. I think we're going to get too cute with it if we try to second guess it right now. I think the storm has proven that it's very, very intense. It's in the top 1% of all supercells that produce tornadoes based on what I saw visually. And I cannot recommend that anybody look at this shot and go, oh, well, I don't see a tornado. I'm not going to worry about it. I cannot recommend that. You must take your tornado precautions.
You can see on the shot.
Look at our power lines down. Power lines down. Look at our shot. We had about a quarter of a mile damage path.
Command center, South Center. Somebody's going to be back in Central.
Headed north, but the road's slow going. No.
Command 20, okay?
Power lines across the road here.
No, that's a tree.
Trees across the road.
Lots of debris.
Oh, this is more than a quarter of a mile.
Lots of debris in the fence.
We got debris on the ground here, guys. We got tree debris on the ground and tin and stuff plastered up against the fence. More power lines down. Look at those big power lines. There's a power line across the road. Isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I want you to stop, please.
They were half a mile to the road.
Okay.
Right on the road. There's nobody here. I want you to stop right on the road. Okay. Just go ahead and get back over in the lane. You're too close to the side here. Yes, right here. What? Phone?
Hey, Justin.
You're dragging something.
I am.
Sounds like
Seeing another funnel now. We're just like right in the middle of the wall cloud. It's very concerning still. The storm is still spinning like a top. It has extreme rotation at times. We just, again, a tornado is imminent. It has already produced, I don't even know how many tornadoes it's produced, Damon, and it could produce another one. And they've been large at times. They've been all shapes and sizes and varieties, from the smallest to the largest. It's been nothing short of just,
We had over a mile of power lines.
it just, I don't even have an adjective for it. It's just crazy what the storm has been doing across northwest Texas, northeast Texas Panhandle, moving up into northwest Oklahoma.
Come on, guy, let's go. Let's go. Come on, let's go.
Let's go find a place to pull off here. place right here? There is. There is. Right here.
Yeah, because then you'll
Yep, just pull right up there.
Yes, it will, not far. Watch the power line.
see better.
11 to 19.
We gotta get over there.
I know, but I'm gonna wait until we get past the power line before I start going. Hey, yeah, we did. Thank the Lord. There was, yeah, we will. I'm worried about power lines here. Once we get past this area, we're gonna play.
My position, you guys, is just south of Laverne, Oklahoma. We're going to be tracking this as it moves,
Oh, yeah.
as it moves
That's
up toward
over a mile,
Laverne.
a mile and a
We're
quarter
going to be
power
watching
line.
it as it does.
Okay, there's power lines on the road. Power lines on the road.
We want to be on the north side of Laverne when it comes through.
That is.
See, it's coming down again.
Oh,
We have another funnel. Another funnel. Another funnel.
Okay.
Power lines across the highway.
Developing
guys.
tornado. Another tornado. 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 Yep, tornado right now developing again. You see the funnel right there in the shot. I don't know if this is going to persist, but this just developed just now. You can see it right there in my shot. I know it's dark, guys, but it's there. Trust me.
Watch for more.
Okay. It's just the insulator.
Oh, are you talking about? Okay. All right, David. We have power lines down. We have. We're on highway 270. I'm sorry. I'm having to avoid power lines here. Highway 270. There's power lines down. Right now, we've come a half a mile, and there's a half a mile of power lines down. So, and we're still going. So that means the tornado damage path was half a mile wide here. At least. Back on the south road, when we were south of Highway 270, we had probably a mile and a quarter of power lines down there, but that was when it was moving north-northeast. But it took a perpendicular shot on this road here, and there's
But
about a
here
half a
things
mile
start
of
going
power
off
lines
on
down. So
phones
that's a
and
big
stuff.
tornado, David. Big tornado.
But I think it's still on the ground.
I don't think, Marty kept saying he sees a cone coming down,
Okay.
like up and down.
I'm looking.
Nineteen, 11. 11, go ahead. Y'all still out here somewhere? Get in. We just left Metro Ranch Road. Okay, 10-4.
Right at the, this is looking backwards. So here's the deal. We're going to put the tornado to our south if it develops. If anything happens in Laverne, you will see it live right here. That's the deal. We are going to look straight back at this tornado as we go into the town of Laverne. We'll have, we're basically what we're doing is we stay just north of the circulation of the tornado. We've been doing this, we can just we can do this. We've done it all day. It's you don't have to worry about us,
So
but
the power is out in Laverne right now. They're
We'll
saying
watch
the
it
power's
closely
out in
here.
Laverne. If people in Laverne are watching us on Facebook, you got to be in your shelter now. This is southwest of you guys, and this thing is doing damage. Let me tell you, this is a big bad tornado. You know, you might look out and it might not hit you,
crossing
but
behind us. I feel like it's moving
you gotta take your
northeast.
tornado precautions now.
I think
If you
it's
live
gonna
in
pass
or
south of
anywhere near
Laverne.
Laverne, take your tornado precautions right now. Now we are at, I believe this is Brian's Corner. We're gonna go north here towards Laverne on 283, and we're gonna be able to see it. We're gonna be able to get a better look at it. as
Not
soon as we
yet.
get closer to it. We were just
No,
slowed down by
I
a
can't.
really,
There's a
really
lot of
good
wind,
road back
a lot of
there.
wind noise.
And
So
damage, power lines.
what's that,
There's
Kyle?
A lot of power
yeah,
lines
I
back
don't
there.
hear any sirens here at all. I do see an 18-wheeler where it looks like somebody might be asleep. Kyle, do you want to? Listen, I think it's going to pass south of our location by everything I can tell, Damon. which is great news. But we'll be here to let you know, to verify that for sure. It's going to be close. It's going to be really close.
It's 3 miles southwest of Laverne, is what Justin is saying.
I'm looking for it.
All
I
right.
think I might be able to see
I would
it.
look for it in that area up there. It's probably in the rain.
There's no power here in Laverne.
Is that me? That was directed at Val? Yes. Okay, got it. Thank you.
You got a highway here. I want to go east on it, and I want to. Yep, let's do it.
Is it going to cross at Laverne or south of Laverne?
There's no power.
He said it's
There's
2
no
miles
power in the
northwest.
town of Laverne. They may not be able to activate their sirens.
Big lowering. Is anything in the rain?
Oh. You see a big base over there?
I just see a base, but it doesn't look so good.
I know I'm looking south. What's happened is there's some rain that's wrapped around it, and it looks like there may be even a new storm that's wrapped, a new updraft that's going up that's kind of wrapping into it.
Okay, David,
It's
look at our night vision
the
shot
couplet
here.
is like, I mean, it is right here, guys.
Look
It is.
at our night vision shot.
It's
We see the lowering.
you know, one of the
That's
things
looking
that's
to our
bad
northwest, approaching
is that
the
if
farm
something
right
were to hit
here.
it,
You see
we
that?
may not be able to see it because there may not be power flashes because there's no power. And so I'm just hoping
Well,
that
it
this thing
looks
misses
like it
Laverne,
looks
but
like
it is
it's not
super
on the ground
close.
at the moment.
Got to remember the radar's
It
hitting
looks
this
like
at
it's
fairly
not on the
high
ground,
up too.
but
So
that could
the
come back
circulation, I
any
think,
minute.
as far as
And
the
that's
threat
what
of a
we're
tornado
looking-
is
we're
passing
looking straight
just
northwest, right?
barely to the south of Laverne, and I mean by a hair. It is not very far away at all. It is close enough that everybody in Laverne, if they can hear us on their app, on their phone, on the KOCO5 app, whatever they may be listening to us on now, on the radio, if they don't have, they're not able to obviously watch us on TV because they don't have power, Damon, just stay in your shelter. Stay in your shelter until this thing is gone.
Okay, we got west winds at our location, so that means the circulation is north of us. We got the traffic jam on the road here in front of us. I'm going to try to work my way around them if I can here. People in Laverne, goodness, can't say enough. They need to take care. Yeah.
Things here for a few minutes.
Okay. David, hey David. I
Brand new
think power
updraft
got
went
knocked
up. I
off
don't
in
know if
Laverne
it's going to
when
end
those
up being the
power
one that
lines
takes
on
over or
Highway
not.
270 got knocked down because there was a half a mile of power lines there, and there was another mile and a half south of there. There's a lot of power lines down, so that's probably when the power went off in Laverne here. So we're going north. We're scanning. We're looking through the rain here. We can see pretty good through the rain. On the rocky day, you remember seeing that tornado in the rain there at night. So we're watching. So far, we don't see it. There could be just too much rain. I don't know, but no power flashes at the moment, and that could be because there's no power too. So.
We have west wind.
Yeah, we got west wind. He said the circulation is north of Laverne now.
Okay. lights impeding the
Well,
video.
let's just go around. When this guy moves, I'm gonna go around him.
Yeah, we have to get ahead of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it got wrapped in rain potentially.
So,
Part of
all
it is
lights
we're
are
just
off now,
losing
so
light
we can
like
get-
crazy now.
I'm looking for power flashes or anything like that up toward Laverne. We are a mile and 3/4 south of Laverne. And the power's off.
Hey, what?
How far north of Laverne are they?
Justin, can you tell me how far north of Laverne it is? Okay, well, we're about to come into Laverne right now. I'm going to see if there's any damage. Has anybody been through Laverne yet? Okay, got it. Okay. It's about a mile and a half north of Laverne.
Okay. Straight
Yeah, I
north.
see him. I'm just not sure the funnels yet.
Okay, this is going to be wrapped around.
I'm looking behind me, just to my northwest. Yeah, it looks like there might be a new funnel, but I can't confirm that right now. It does look like in the lightning flashes that there could be a new one developing.
Let's go east. You want to go east? It's out here.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, is this the road?
Yes. No, it's
No?
not. Oh, shoot. It's not. But you can get there this way. Don't get behind.
I won't.
Don't get behind the lights.
I won't.
Don't get behind the lights.
Let's go to this road up here. Okay.
So Laverne looks
Left,
okay.
left. Let's go.
They're definitely in the dark here.
Yeah, all no power in Laverne at all.
No damage so far.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Very.
Yeah, that slows down.
I think this other storm is now getting out of the way of it. It might,
Wait, is this it?
well, it might spin back up. It's possible, but it might spin back
We're
up
gonna right.
northeast
We're
of
gonna go right
Laverne
real quick here.
Yeah,
with this other
Okay,
cell getting out of the way.
made it.
Still no damage. Good news.
Yeah.
All right, Laverne is fine. Laverne is awesome. The power is out, but I don't see any damage in Laverne, at least where we went.
Yeah, we didn't check the west or north side, but check the south and the east side. South of 140.
Yeah, what has happened, Damon, is a new storm went up. You can see that clearly on radar. You guys can see it. But once that storm moves out of the way, this will get clean. You can see that clearly on radar. Southeast warm inflow back into the circulation, and I'm concerned that it might spin up again just northeast of Laverne. And visually, that appears kind of to be the case. It looked like it had lost some organization, and I'm starting to see a more well-defined wall cloud again. We were seeing those lowerings that kind of started to look a little bit like a funnel on the northeast side of Laverne, and now I'm starting to see more of a big, broad, flat base, and that could be the precursor to another tornado developing. So I've seen that before, where a storm kind of goes up and then it merges in, or it clears out of the way, and then a storm gets inflow back into it and it starts producing tornadoes again.
You know what? We need to think here about maybe going to Buffalo. Look at Buffalo and see if Buffalo's going to be affected.
They're on the ground, so you can imagine the damage.
Hold on, I'll go look on the tracker. Yes, well,
Eric, can you hear me?
I kind of see what you're asking.
Eric, can you hear me?
Oh, wow, that's...
Eric, can you hear me? I need to talk to somebody in the weather center. Anybody who can hear me. Control room, can you hear me? I need you to call control room. Tell them that I submitted video into Oasis. Did you let him know I submitted video to Oasis? I don't know that. It's called Canadian Tornado. Thank you. It's just tough when they're not listening.
Oh, look to our northwest.
I know.
Straight north almost. Straight north.
Yeah, you
Look up
can.
there and turn it even more. Is that as far as you can go? Yeah, go all the way back around.
Yeah,
this.
that's okay.
Hey, we see something to our north. We're gonna turn the camera. All right.
I don't think I see it on the ground.
Okay.
But I just watched.
Yeah, look at this inflow here.
Tony is in the building.
And I think, you know, we dodged a bullet in Laverne. I mean, there's just, well, I don't think that. That is just an absolute fact. Based on what we saw out in the Texas Panhandle, if that, I mean, man, that is just absolute blessing.
Are they?
It's an answered prayer. We're going to go up here and turn left. We may have a new,
Is it a big wall cloud now?
maybe redeveloping back to our southwest.
Vienna sausages and pickles served in the lobby.
Yeah, it's really getting low in the middle. Good grief. Tell them to look in the video.
I would like to be able to find a way to turn around somewhere up here and point back to the west now and look with my own eyes and see what's going on. I love our 360 cam, no doubt, but I need to be able to see it with my own eyes now, with as dark as it is.
All right, it's getting lower. He might come to us in a second.
It has
Swing
formed,
it
Jonathan.
when I turn.
It has formed. Yeah, new wall cloud for sure.
Okay, David. It's the wall cloud. It's a big wall cloud. We're seeing that, and everybody's shot here. But if you look at our shot when we get across this hill, right in the middle, it appears to be getting lower again. Let's wait till it lightnings, and you'll be able to see it. But it appears to be getting lower again in the middle. Might have just seen it right then. We're going to get up on the flat here in just a minute. This camera does a really good job in low light conditions here, and so what we're seeing there, okay, right there you go. Yeah, it's not on the ground, David, but it looks like it's trying to get lower.
Okay, here's the new wall cloud right up here. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? The only thing I can say right now is these things go through cycles, and this thing lifted, and I have a feeling it's going to try to cycle up again. There's a good shot right there, the whole wall cloud. We did have a lowered area right in the middle, and like right there on the lightning. So it's trying to lower again in the middle, but that's about all we can say at the moment. I don't see it on the ground. When we do, I'll start yelling at you.
A.
Yep, it's intensifying, no doubt. Right, exactly right here. Big wall cloud. This may produce another tornado very shortly.
See the
From the east.
Very low hanging wall cloud. It's going to be east of Roston. Looks like it, based on this track, it looks like it may pass west of Buffalo, which would, I mean, again, it just couldn't have taken a better track. It's going to miss every town based on this track, unless something crazy happens.
What I saw a while ago was right up in here. Yeah, there's a couple low-hanging areas.
Yeah. Kind of going back and forth.
Yeah, there's something also behind us. Lights on here, just so no one runs into us.
I can't see with that. You're gonna
Hey, can you guys hear me in the weather center? Can anybody hear me?
Oh, there's a big wall cloud to our southwest.
Oh, goodness.
We gotta go back.
There's the new wall cloud up in front of us, right over the road.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know what to do. I guess I'll start calling people on cell phone maybe or something. I don't know. I don't know what else to do.
Yeah, it's a big.
Yeah, Damon, that's the thing. It's doing exactly what I said it was going to do. And there is a new huge wall cloud developing due north of me. You can see it in my shot right now. I can't confirm a tornado at this time. I don't believe there's one yet, but this storm has re-intensified fairly dramatically, I think, here just within the last few minutes. And that's what I was concerned about, is that other storm cleared out of the way, that this storm was going to begin to get some inflow again into it. And so this is not what we want to see. It's not what we want to see at all. Can you switch to dash cam here for a second, Kyle, with the rain coming in on us? I'm hoping that we don't have any other tornadoes form from it. Damon, one thing that I'm noticing is that based on its current track, it could be very helpful that it passes west and northwest of Buffalo and it doesn't go in to
Another one around the one so you can tell the real
Buffalo and Roston, And the thing about it is nobody wants to be out on the road. Can you guys hear me? Hello? Eric, can you hear me? Hang on, I'm losing IFB.
Yeah, see a big one in front of it.
Okay.
Eric, can you hear me? Okay, listen. Here's what I want you guys to know. I submitted video that you have not seen yet. It is in Oasis. You just need to get with editing and get it on. You can re-rack that video. It was from when it was west of Canadian, and it's very dramatic. I mean, it was a huge tornado at that time. I can't even tell you. I mean, it's just... The good thing about this thing is that, like I said, it just keeps moving out. We need to probably move it along a little faster up here to the road if we can, and then go east, so that way we're not trying to. It's gonna pass close, is what I'm saying. And the fact that we're getting in the rain tells you that we're getting the wraparound. So we just need to get out ahead of it again. Really tough communicating up here.
Alright, that's what we're busting it up. I saw a very big wall cloud, very low hanging. I was so close to it I couldn't tell, but it's southwest of it. Alright, so we're at our road, we're gonna bust it. David, we got a low hanging wall cloud, a very sharp lowering to our south-southwest. We got a little cam back there looking at it right now to our south-southwest. Now, I also got to tell you that we're up at our east road now. It's just about 30 seconds ago. We had a really strong gust of wind.
Well, right now, Damon, we're getting the wraparound precipitation from the Hook Echo, so we're right in here tight with the circulation. I think it's weakened a little bit just since I talked to you a few moments ago, so it's going through this cycling stage now. But again, I think it is going to pass to the west and northwest of Buffalo. But the problem is, if anybody has a ranch out here, you know, there are people that do have farmsteads out here, and so they need to be aware. They need to continue to take their tornado precautions. It doesn't look quite as intense as what it did just a little bit ago, but again, we've seen these things. I mean, they can spin up very rapidly. So
No reason to think it's not. So anyway, David, that's all I got.
whoa. Eric, it is in Oasis. You need to check with editing, and they need to look for a clip called Canadian Tornado. Cue it up. Tell them to cue it up.
I think it might be trying to do something again.
There it is.
Hey, we got a funnel, David, we got a funnel.
Halfway to the ground.
We got a funnel halfway to the ground. All right, David. Yeah, we got two things here. We got a funnel halfway to the ground. That might have pulled up. We got a large bowl-shaped lowering that's just formed just to our northwest. I mean, no more than probably 3/4 of a mile straight northwest of us. I think we drove right under the circulation just a little bit ago. That's when we got blasted with northeast winds. But that's it. David, the funnel, waiting for it to lightning again, but the funnel was halfway to the ground, and it was on the right side of the wall cloud, but I think it pulled back up. But the wall cloud is big and it's rotating. Right there, you see it shot. There very well might be debris underneath it. I mean, oh yeah, there's debris on the ground, David. There's debris on the ground. Yeah. Oh yeah, there's debris. We see debris on the ground beneath it. So yeah, it's on the ground again.
So County Road East 100, County Road East 120, and it's going to slide to the west with these. We're looking at County Road North 18, County Road North 79. That's a tornado on the ground, and from the National Weather Service.
Yes, it's north of 64 and northwest of us. West north. It's probably a mile north of 64. It might be. It's going to be 2 miles probably to our west northwest now. I'm going to bust it over to Buffalo. Guys in Buffalo, this is going to go north of you. If anybody lives west and north of Buffalo, this is headed to you.
Stafford is quite a ways south of that right now. When he passed through Laverne, at Laverne, you guys do not have power, but if you live west and northwest of Buffalo, please make sure you're taking your tornado precautions. Get in and down the road, take shelter until further notice, please. And the circulation is still possibly produce a tornado. It's just a few miles to the west of Highway 183 on the northeast side of Buffalo. Right into that. Right into that sort of
Sirens going on.
Sirens are blowing in Buffalo.
It's west and northwest of Buffalo right now. It's maybe 2 miles, a mile and a half. West of 183.
Got it.
So it looks like a train. You can track it if you'd like.
In Buffalo. already, the power's on in Buffalo. They're open.
This is right here. So right around the slack out here, on the east side of the slack, we have another tornado warning. And again, don't have anywhere in the National Weather Service just yet. This is also real significant. Miles an hour. Wind shear in this area so far.
Okay. Man. Eric, can you hear me? We are moving off of the Buffalo storm and dropping south for this next one.
Northeast. Put that in motion, please. Right. And let's go ahead and see exactly how it's moving. It's coming right into Laverne, as you can see. So it's moving northeast. I would put about a 20-30 mile an hour speed to the northeast on that. Coming into Laverne, it'll start on the southwest side like the last tornado did and come right through. So again, Laverne, you got to take your tornado precautions again. You got to get back underground if you can. If you can't, get back in that same safe spot you guys were hiding in with that first tornado. So again, Laverne, there's a tornado warning just here southwest. It's coming on in. Very strong rotation. Weather Service is watching that very, very closely. And the other tornado warning that we have is just to the west and northwest of Buffalo. Quickly approaching the Kansas border. And these are the only storms of significance. The whole state of Oklahoma, tornado warning storm. Obviously, scared the rest of us now. That's the East Texas Panhandle. And this is going to be warning until at least 9:45. So we have about 9 or 10 minutes. And about 20, 30 minutes is going to be in Kansas anyway. So there's a good chance the Weather Service will just let that go in Kansas. But they might take it right before it gets northwest. We still have towns and communities, of course, right along.
Can you find a place to stop anywhere along here? If you find it, if you find a spot, let's pull over.
Just break news, and it's right there, by the way. So it's moving actually a little farther to the northeast. So let's go with the trades go down here real quick, and right as it leaves, come right here, you folks along the Kansas border, you guys make sure you're still seeking shelter, be on the safe side, and because it's moving fast, we will not have to stay sheltered very long. So reflectively, brand new tornado warning has just been issued, by the way, for Harper County for the same, not the same, but the other supercell that we were talking about. So trade reflectivity, and in just about a few seconds here, you should see another
3 miles northwest of Buffalo.
And that is it right there. So let's see.
Yeah, we're seeing a low.
The history of producing a tornado warning, or I'm sorry, the history of producing a tornado in Texas, located 5 miles west of Buffalo.
David, I can't confirm that it's on the ground, but I'll tell you, I shot I'm going to say 3 miles straight northwest of Buffalo, and it is trying to get rain wrapped around it right there, but that's the rotation. And again, David,
okay, this is the one that's west and northwest of Buffalo.
It says,
the warning itself says it has a history of producing a tornado. It's not mentioning that we have a tornado on the ground.
Trying to wrap around and
okay, so that's going to be
in the center of our shot, that's where it is, and that's where it's rotating.
And then if we go back to the other supercell that's rotating significantly, and what the Weather Service has done with this, and this is slightly good news for now. Trey, let's work our way back here towards the northeast Texas Panhandle right there across the border. This is the one that we're tracking. This had a tornado warning on it. The Weather Service has actually decided to issue a severe thunderstorm warning. So if it is a tornado threat with this supercell and it comes back into Harper County, and this new severe thunderstorm warning, by the way, has a tornado tag on it, and what that means is that they are concerned about the tornado threat with the supercell as it comes back into Harper and Ellis County. The severe thunderstorm warning, technically, and right now is only for 70-mile-an-hour winds and golf ball size hail or larger. And that's coming through Follett. It's this one right here, and this will eventually make its way into Harper and Ellis County. And really, it's in Harper County right now. So we have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings. This one here is rotating. This is the rotation that we're tracking also. That's
very well
towards
be.
Catesby and Catesby Church. Catesby is right here. And then, of course, Laverne, oops, right there. So we get May and Laverne. This is taking the same path as this other tornado has taken that moved through Laverne. Large tornado moved through Laverne over the past hour or so. Moved through the south and west sides of Buffalo. And that mesocyclone that produced that tornado was way up here. So when it moved through Laverne, and it really stinks because the timing was horrible. It was moving pretty fast, and for some darn reason, it slowed down as it moved through Laverne. It slowed down for like half speed, like 10, maybe 15 miles an hour. It more than likely caused some damage. We have Wayne Stafford there right now. He's in the vicinity. We'll more than likely send him back.
You know, wall cloud looks a little bit more ragged. But that's it, right there. You see that? You see go that direction.
Is it pretty close to us?
A little more.
Oh, back there?
Yeah. That's
not where I was thinking. Because look, if you look at the velocities, the velocities show it being way up there. So it's going to be.
well. Let's go. Let's go.
It's supposed to be like right here, and that would be closer.
There's also a big white lowering right there. Look at the look at it.
Yeah, I could see it
Right
close
there.
to us. Yeah.
Ooh, did you see that? I don't know if that's anything.
I see something like that, Fred.
Okay, let's go look. I mean, we can always turn around. That's junky out to the west, way out to the west.
I don't see anything at velocity near us or behind us.
Okay, look at the radar.
It's to our northwest.
Look at the radar at the storm to the south of us.
Okay, yeah, it's tornado warning.
Okay.
And those rain curtains are getting lifted
Up there? Remember that radar can be off this far away, south of us.
Okay, yeah, it's tornado warning. And I see it to our northwest, so I'll turn around and look behind us and see what that is. See that?
Okay. This looks like junk, doesn't it?
Kinda.
Keeps due west of us. Yeah, it's hard to tell. Okay.
Maybe
Keep seeing
it's
something.
gonna be crossing the road. Sitting up here.
Okay. When this thing crosses the Kansas border, we can turn around and go back to the south storm. That's where our camera's pointed. Oh, we got. Okay, thank you, Justin. That's where our camera's pointed, and we're seeing the edge of the rain core right there. It kind of wraps in.
going to be rain wrap. I think if we give it a little bit of time, this morphs into a little bit more of a classic supercell. There's also another storm. There's another storm behind that that's also supercellular out southwest of Slap Out. So we have a train here, or a daisy chain of 3 supercells. The original one, the second one, now this third one. But again, the biggest one right now is going to be this one just south of Laverne.
It is going to be the biggest one. And what, if you look at some high resolution mapping, there are going to be some homes that are going to be running right along 412. So if this turns more to the right, there's at least 2 homes that we can see in some high resolution mapping that are going to be in the path of these storms. So watch this closely. I know that this is rural land, but there are still people that live here, and so we are here for you for Harper County, from Laverne to May up to Buffalo. This is where that circulation is going to be located, right along 412. This is south of Laverne. Laverne, I know you just had that storm that went through earlier, and now here we go again. We might have to do it a third time, as Jonathan just showed you there just moments ago with this storm. So tornado warning, and this warning remains in effect for a while here. As a matter of fact, this new tornado warning is going to extend past the expiration time of the tornado watch. The tornado watch expires at 10 o'clock. This warning goes until 10:15, which is why we always say, look, these times that we have, they're not definite. It's not black or white. It can sometimes be a shade of gray. And so that's what we're seeing with this right here, is that tornado watch may expire at 10, but these tornado warnings are going to live on past that. So let's hope that these storms will weaken soon. We would love to see that. Jonathan, you're taking a 3-dimensional slice of these storms. Really fantastic technology that really allows you to look deep into this storm, not just surface based, what it's doing in the mid-levels. And this is a big, big storm.
It is, and so one thing that we're looking at here, I'm looking at a bunch of things, very technical stuff, but what I'm trying to convey to you, what this storm is doing. Not quite a classic supercell storm. Updraft, though, in front of it is still very strong, and it's these targets that I have aloft. When we look at the high reflectivity aloft, this is telling me that the updraft is strong because it's pushing big hail up. And typically, when you have that amount of reflectivity at that level, 20, 30,000 feet, means the updraft is 90, 100 miles an hour going straight up. So this is a very strong storm, and again, we're also seeing that in the circulation. So if you're in the path of the storm again, radar indicated tornado warning, but it was the lowering with Buck King that I think that really helped the Weather Service pull the trigger on that tornado warning too. And so we got Chris Lee coming in from the south. He'll have his night vision 360 cam. Buck King is right there at the intersection of 283 and 412, and its storm command's out in front of it. So our guys are just kind of like encircling the storm, and if anything, unfortunately, I'll tell you this, it's rain wrap. It's gonna be really hard to see, David.
And what I don't like about this storm is that Buffalo, I know that this storm missed you in Buffalo. However, with this storm a little farther south of Laverne, means that this could very well make its way into Buffalo, very close to Buffalo. So I know Buffalo, we were able to breathe a sigh of relief with that first tornado warning, but now that this cell is south of Laverne, making its way up, this could be the storm that moves much, much closer to Buffalo. So Buffalo, storm projected to come in at 10:32. It is currently 9:50. Still watching this area of circulation, very well defined, right over Route 283. And as Evan just told us earlier, that there was a home that was unfortunately hit southwest of Laverne. So this has just been a bad spot in the state for the last hour and a half or so with these supercells that have been coming in. But we've been mentioning for the last couple of days that this will be a very active weather pattern that we're currently in, and it's not going to stop tonight. It continues tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, not Wednesday or Thursday of next week. It is back again next Friday and Saturday. So definitely still a stormy pattern. Michael is going to be located here. Buck is going to be located right along 283. There's Chris Lee. Stephen Jones is going to be on this storm that's going to be near Follette, coming up into Slap Out. So definitely this storm continues to be warned on. It's a tornado warning. Going to, let's see here. Did we just extend the tornado watch? I believe we just had an extension of the tornado watch here for this part of the state. So there you go. So we were wondering what was going to happen there with this tornado watch that was going to be that was going to expire at 10 o'clock. Looks like the tornado watch now has been extended as we go downstream there. So the new tornado watch now until 2 a.m. till 2 a.m. So Buffalo 10:32, Selman at 10:45. That's where the circulation is, moving up to the northeast. So there's Michael, Buck, we have Chris, we have Steven on the cell, and that circulation is going to be right over Route 283. Laverne, we know the sirens are sounding right now. Laverne, you're on backup generator right now. That's how the sirens are sounding. The first time the sirens went out, it was because they weren't able to get the backup running. Now they were able to get the backup generator. So Laverne, sirens are sounding. Out to Buck King we go. Buck, give us an update on what you're seeing.
Hey, Damon, the area of circulation is just to my north off of 412. There's nothing that's really well defined at this time, but there still is a lowering on it. And of course, again, it's hard to see without lightning strikes, but there's nothing there at this point that suggests that a tornado is imminent. But we're going to keep an eye on it. Back to you.
All right, keep a close eye on that. Once again, that is coming in from Buck King, who is he's from Woodward, northwestern Oklahoma. If your kids go to Woodward High School, then they know exactly who Buck is. So he knows this part of the state very, very well. Let's go back over to the radar. That's where the circulation is. Laverne, the sirens are sounding once again. Right now, the circulation will be on the south side of town, so very close to the golf course there in the southern side of town. The Conoco station there. There is a Country Inn, Laverne hotel there in the south side of town. That's where this is going to be. This is just south of Laverne High School, right along Route 283, moving to the east. And at this current track, it would come very close to Buffalo. We were concerned about Buffalo earlier with the first storm. Now, Buffalo, I'm even more concerned with this cell if it continues at this current track, making its way up to the northeast. Michael Armstrong is inside this tornado warning right now as well. Let's go out to Michael. Michael, yet another area of rotation is spitting up. Give us an update from the field.
Right, Damon, we're watching for any pronounced lowerings or anything like that. In my shot, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. There has been a wall cloud that I've been able to kind of pick out here in the lightning flashes. It was just to the right of those two towers, so it's right over here in this location, and there's the lowered area right in there. Let me zoom back out. It's just going to be just to the left of that other tower that you see flashing. That's what we're kind of dealing with. We're just hoping for lightning flashes in the right spots to be able to illuminate the lowerings in a way that allows us to be able to identify what's going on in the sky. It is tricky, but you know, we're used to this. It's kind of what we do, and I right now haven't seen anything that proves to me there's a tornado, but I'll tell you what, there is a lot of spin in two different areas on this storm, and so both of them, I'm just kind of scanning the skies here with my 360 cam, just going back and forth and just watching with eyes wide open, trying to see if anything is going to form again.
All right, yeah, so we continue to watch this storm spinning up to the northeast. Still warned on, tornado warning remains in effect. By the way, we're also simulcasting right now on 88.1 out of Woodward. So if you're traveling, tune it to 88.1. We're simulcasting right now. So for those that are listening to us on the radar or on the radio, what we're finding right now in Laverne is that area circulation is going to be on the south side of town, so south of the high school, but once again near the Conoco station, very close to the golf course on the south side of town, and now making its way just southeast of Laverne. So we're going to be now sliding east of the high school and on the eastern side of town. I want to send to Evan and Jess at the news desk for an update.
Okay, David, so I just talked to the emergency manager there in Harper County. He said that he heard there was a debris path. Now, he said that could just be trees that are down in that area from that first storm that moved through the area around Laverne. He said that they were going to be checking out an old building east of town, but at this point, they are under the gun right now. So they're hunkered down, they're sheltering, and then they'll get out and take a look at any potential debris.
Because I think even at this time, he wasn't even aware of the home and the barn that we reported being destroyed southwest of town. So he talked to you while he was in his own tornado
That's
shelter.
what I asked him. I said, are you in a safe place? He said, yes, I'm at home in my shelter right now.
And we understand that there are churches right now in Laverne that are sheltering people, again, in churches in that town, Damon. And so Obviously, those sirens, as you mentioned, they are operational again. People are getting the message either by watching our channel or just hearing the sirens, and they're taking precautions.
And that's good. That's fantastic. It's what we like to do and like to hear out here, because these storms, this time of the year, we've seen the type of tornadoes that they can produce. They can produce some large tornadoes. It's currently 9:57. You are currently watching KOCO 5 News at 10 o'clock. And right now the big story is yet another tornado warning out across northwestern Oklahoma. Laverne already had reports of damage to a home on the southwest side of town. And now yet another tornado warning remains in effect for Laverne up to Buffalo. Our tornado watch that was set to expire at 10 o'clock has now been extended until 2 a.m. and that tornado watch now goes up into the middle of Kansas. So let's hope that we can clear these storms out of here soon. We can't get rid of them fast enough, it feels like, but what we're finding right now is that circulation is a little bit more broad, not nearly as tight as what we had earlier, but still well-defined circulation track very close to Laverne. There's Chris Lee coming right up into the cell, and so Chris Lee is going to be about 4 miles south of Laverne, coming up into Laverne. So that's going to be one of his pictures there on the left-hand side. So we have Buck, we have Steven, we have Michael, we have Chris Lee out on these storms right now. And if you're just now tuning in to KOCO 5 News at 10 o'clock, the big story right now, for the second time in about an hour, yet another tornado warning for northwestern Oklahoma and Harper County. And these are storms that have produced some considerable tornadoes. We're talking large wedge tornadoes. So definitely still a very scary situation for Buffalo. Updated storm track. Right now it is 10 o'clock. Buffalo, you have 30 minutes, and you can see now the storm coming into Laverne. We have Chris Lee that is looking into the storm right now, so we'll get Chris Lee on the phone in just a second. But with Chris, with Buck, and with Michael and Steven on the southern side of the storm as well, we have this storm surrounded. So that is the latest right now with this storm moving up to the northeast. Chris Lee, we have yet another tornado warning for Harper County. Give us an update on what you're seeing from the ground.
Yeah, again, very difficult to tell in the lightning flashes. We have had a lowering from time to time. We did have something, we were coming north on a 283. It looked like it was right over the road around the 412 junction, but that, I don't see that anymore. And I'm not seeing, I just don't have enough lightning to see any continuous type of lowering. I don't see anything that I think is significant. That's not just because of position or continue to move, trying to get a little better position, and if we see anything.
Instead of seeing these isolated supercells, now it's just becoming more like a squall line as it moves up to the northeast. What you get out of these are more embedded tornadoes. Now we got to shift our focus, though, still on the southwest side, west of Laverne, where you still see this inflow notch. So the tornado threat may be coming down temporarily. With this, we'll have to focus our attention out near Slap Out right now. Still not, we're not dealing with a tornado warning for Slap Out, but still very concerned about at least what this line is doing as it's moving up to the northeast. Still a lot of hail on this, so not only dealing with the tornado threat, but also dealing with rather large hail core that's going to be moving in. As I said before, I'll say it again. We need these storms to stay over some rural land. I know that land belongs to somebody, but you try to at least minimize the risk here. And so let's hope that we can at least keep the damage away from any homes as we can. What Jonathan is highlighting, though, is where that circulation was earlier. And as Evan and Jess reported earlier, there was a home that was damaged southwest of Laverne, home and a barn. So we'll be getting an update on that situation there from Harper County. But as we look at our rotation tracker, not seeing nearly as much of the brown colors. That would be moderate rotation. Now it's starting to come down. It's still evident on our radar, so we're not gonna sound the all clear yet. Not even close. Let's go to the Buck King right now. Buck, give us an update on what you're seeing.
Damon, I'm sorry I can't get you a shot. I'm paralleling the storm on Highway 412. I can see all the way underneath it. I do feel like I see a little bit of a lowering once in a while, but nothing significant. And It's still there, and I believe it's still rotating, isn't it?
When you see something, let me know.
Still has some rotation in it.
Yeah, Buck, it still has rotation. One thing we have noticed there, Buck, though, is that at least the rotation couplet, it's not nearly as tight as what we had earlier. So when you can get that red and that green right up against each other, and the colors are so bright that it just jumps off the television screen, that's when you get concerned. What we're noticing now with the rotation is that it spreads out over many miles. So we'll keep a close eye with each radar scan that we see, and watch the trend. So tornado warning has now been extended. It actually goes until 10:15 now for Harper County for the northern cell. And this tornado warning that we have ongoing now, this new one that we have, that still includes Laverne, that too goes until 10:15. So once again, tornado warning there until 10:15 p.m. So 10:15 p.m. the tornado warning for Harper County. And this moving up to the northeast. Still not done yet. This cell. Let's go out to Chris Lee. Chris Lee gives an update on what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm over here towards May, and I'm looking right up the front edge of that. You can kind of see it lit up in the lightning there. The good news is I really don't see anything to be terribly concerned with. Like you said, it looks like the area has kind of widened out. There's not a lowering. If there is a lowering, it's very large and not, not tightened up. And it's, I just don't see I don't see anything that looks that scary right now. But this is the area that we're watching on the backside of the storm, and we will let you know if we see anything different.
Okay, yeah, we're watching this, and really a lot of the reports that we're getting in right now is what we want to hear, what we like to hear, is that at least not finding any lowering or at least any tornado touching the ground. Look, Chris Lee's been chasing for a long time. Michael's been chasing for a long time. Buck has been chasing for a long time. Steven has been chasing for a long time. So if there was a tornado, trust me, they would definitely be able to see it. And right now, a lot of these reports are coming in saying, look, we can see through onto the other side of the storm, which is good. That's a good trend that we're taking this storm in right now, and that is at least that the immediate tornado threat is coming down. Chris Lee coming into Laverne, or coming into May right now, I do believe. Electricity is on, so earlier Laverne, I know that we lost electricity. The sirens were sounding, but Chris Lee coming into May right now, and the electricity is on in May. May, you're okay. The storm is going to stay just to the northeast of you. Jonathan, let's look at pop-up velocity if you can, just so we can get a good update as to what we're seeing. So yeah, now I know you see this green, there's some strong winds right here, but the rotation is just a little bit more stretched out. You don't see those red and the greens, and our rotation tracker really helps to clean this up. So rotation is still weak, moving up to the northeast, but it's still there. We're going to continue with this tornado warning. Let's go out to field meteorologist Michael Armstrong in Storm Command. Michael, give us an update.
Damon, the last radar scan out of Vance is showing an increase in the rotation potentially. Now, here's the thing. There is a little bit of a notch in there, so I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. But just in the latest one, the rotation has increased progressively over the last two radar scans. If it continues to do that, this is going to be a close call for Buffalo yet again.
Yeah, it very well could become a very close call for Buffalo once again. So that's why we say you got to watch the trends with these storms, and that's why we're saying we're not sounding the all clear yet as this storm continues to move across Harper County. We still got to keep a close eye on this one. Just go to where Chris Lee is. There's Michael. There's Chris. Both are coming into this. Jonathan, what stands out to you right now on velocity?
Yeah, so I've circled in blue what Michael Armstrong was talking about. So I'm going to back the velocity up. Again, we talk about Doppler radar, the velocity or wind speeds. That's the Doppler part of it. So way back when it was down near Log Cabin Corner where Buck King was down there, that's where the velocities were really strong, right back in here. And then it went through a weakening stage until about right now. One thing, so you're looking at the winds. So those winds are going that way. Michael's looking at it. He's just several miles to the northeast. Chris is to the south. Buck King is to the south. So we have the area of rotation bracketed, and there's enough lightning. If a tornado is going to drop out of that, our guys are going to see it. They're right there. They're very close. But that's the wind. Now let's go over to reflectivity. And reflectivity is the intensity of the storm. And one thing that we're going to look at here, what can you see? Here's that kind of that hook that comes down, but what's more pronounced too is that this is the inflow notch, and this is also reflected back in the winds. And so this is starting to look a little bit more like a supercell. You got your hail core up to the north, that's your forward flank, that's your big hail core, and where you don't have a lot of precip, that's your updraft and your inflow getting a little bit stronger. So again, this is kind of just a scan by scan situation. These storms are kind of like living and breathing. Sometimes they're really strong, then they get exhausted and they kind of relax a little bit, and then they gain more strength, and so they're living and breathing. They're fluctuating. They go up and they go down. That's why when you hear us say the storm is cycling, that's what we're talking about. You know, the meso may have spun down, but it'll spin back up. Now honestly, out in front of this thing, the winds at the surface, that's, you know, what kind of environment is it going into? It's tropical, it's humid, dew points are in the 60s right now, but the winds in front of this are highly sheared. The winds are coming out of this broad area across all of northwestern Oklahoma where the surface winds are coming out of the southeast. When we talk about tornado genesis, the final part, the low levels, to get that wall cloud to spin up and to drop a tornado, it's all about the low level winds. So when you have winds kind of out of the southwest, not a big deal. South, you got shear, but as those winds, what we say, turn more to the back, come more to the southeast, that really induces the low level rotation. And all the winds ahead of these storms have high low-level directional shear. So again, that's why we have our guys on it. So we're watching it real closely. Damon, this could cycle into becoming the dominant supercell. I was a little bit worried about back in the backside here, what was going on. Sometimes Tail and Charlie here can do weird things, but I don't see much in the velocity field. There's a couple little areas got to watch. Maybe out in your slap out, this storm right here, this kind of got a little bit of a hook. It's not severe. We'll just have to watch it closely. So that area, and then the area that Chris Lee and Storm Commander on, watching that one there, Damon.
Okay, yeah, we're still keeping a close eye on this, and this storm, while it's pulsing up and pulsing down, it's still definitely still tornado warned and will remain. Now, right now, this tornado warning goes until 10:15 for another 5 minutes. I expect that at least a tornado threat will at least still remain ongoing for at least a little time here. So Buffalo still watching this closely for you. As you can see, we're highlighting exactly where that rotation is. There's Chris Lee. There's going to be Storm Command. On the left-hand side of your television screen, we've got our pictures coming in from Steven, Buck. We have Michael. We have Chris. Inflow notch coming in. Circulation trying to go. Laverne, this storm is going to be east of you. Roston, this storm is going to be east of you. But Buffalo, this storm looks like it's coming very, very close, and that circulation is still at least organized enough to where that risk is going to continue for the town of Buffalo as this warning, while Buffalo, you may not officially be in a tornado warning, don't look at that flashing red line and say, well, the tornado warning stops just southwest of town, I'm good. The storm is still moving up to the northeast, and so that risk is still going to continue and will continue. Still seeing at least that rotation right there, just close to where Chris and Storm Command will be located. Let's go out to, is it Michael? Jonathan, what do you have?
I'm changing the tilt of the radar.
Yeah.
And so when you're down low, we're kind of looking at lower levels. And when you find the mesocyclone kind of redeveloping, spinning up, sometimes we'll tilt the radar up a little bit. And so here, let me go down to the lowest level tilt, which is still fairly high. Doesn't look like much, not much. Okay, I'm going to go up a tilt. Okay, there's some winds there to the south of that. I'm going to go up another tilt. And the inbound winds here are getting a lot stronger. So higher up, necessarily down low, but higher up into the storm, I do see a stronger wind field there. So we're just, again, we're just going to have to watch that very, very closely. Down low doesn't look real organized, but up top it might be starting to still bring some pretty strong inflow into it, Damon.
Yeah, so that definitely still looks like we're still watching this storm closely, and while this warning is set to expire at 10:15. Still got to watch it closely, not only for the tornado threat, but for those in northwestern Oklahoma. You're getting a lot of rain right now. Flood advisory coming, so if you have any creeks that are nearby, know that water is going to come up fast. So Buffalo, 10:23. Selman at 10:39. Here are the next two communities that will be in the path of this storm, moving up to the northeast here. So here's Buffalo, here's Selman, Bat Cave, moving up to the northeast across Harper County. Lots of flooding rain coming in as well. Let's go with the field meteorologist, Michael Armstrong, and Storm Command. Michael, give us an update on what you're seeing.
Radar and kind of both. Yeah, I'm here talking with the sheriff right here in Harper County. He's with me, and I'm just giving him some of the feedback that I'm seeing on radar. We're talking about Buffalo. Damon, I'm not seeing anything visually that is nearly as concerning as what we saw earlier. However, this storm has continued to show signs of rotation, and I think this one is going to track closer to the south side of Buffalo, whereas the one earlier went just a little bit north. So that's the hope. If it were to redevelop, the hope right now is that it would pass further south. But again, I don't see anything visually that's just got me really, really concerned at this moment. There are some areas that are a little bit suspect that I've tried to center up in my shot, but we've lost a lot of the lightning that was backlighting the wall cloud that we had earlier, and so I'm just not quite able to make out anything that's super low or anything that looks tornadic. But oh, right there in the flash, you could see the rain that was coming around the backside of the lowering, and so I've got it centered up exactly where I need it to be here on my 360 camera. So if anything develops and moves up toward Buffalo, we will see it and we'll let you know.
Okay, yeah, so the storm's not giving up yet. It is currently 10:13, and Shane Helton, who's located right here in Laverne, we're going to get him on if he's available. Definitely has a lowering coming in as well. So Storm Command, Chris Lee, Shane Helton, Buffalo, need to watch this closely. Right now, I expect that we're going to see this tornado warning extended. Right now, it's almost it's 1 minute until 10:15. It's 10:14, but at least here in the reports that we have coming in from Shane, from Michael, from Buck, from Chris Lee, is that this storm is still spinning, and we're still seeing at least a lowering. So tornado warning or tornado watch has been extended until 2 a.m. on this storm. And Shane just sent in a message, said, hey, I'm hearing that there are homes that have been damaged in this part of the county. We know that at least one home southwest of Laverne was damaged. That came in from Jess and Evan. So keeping a close eye on this wave of storms that is moving across Harper County. That flood advisory is coming up as well right now, so creeks are coming up pretty high. Know that we too are going to be dealing with a flood situation as we have a lot of rain coming in. So there's Shane, there's Chris Lee, they're both near Laverne. Michael's going to be near Buffalo right now. Storm track up to the northeast. Buffalo, this area of rotation will come in. It's currently 10:15. That area of rotation will come in 8 minutes from now. As we look at the velocity couplet, that does show at least a little bit more of a broader couplet there. Latest wording coming out now is that they're going to let this tornado warning expire. So now the tornado warning may expire when it just dropped off just like that. We'll have to watch it closely though, see if this storm wants to ramp back up. But at least for the time being, it does appear that the tornado warning has been allowed to expire. And so we are currently working no tornado warnings across northwestern Oklahoma. We do have at least a severe thunderstorm warning. We have a tornado warning that's happening right now out across Kansas. So we're still watching this threat for severe weather out across Harper County. This tornado watch goes now until 2 a.m. We'll jump back to this in just a second, but I do want to hit on the rest of the weather that we have coming up over the next couple of days, but because we're not done with the severe weather risk at all, let's go ahead and go on over to WSI 2 if we can, because I want to go ahead and jump into the forecast and what we're going to be dealing for tomorrow. Tomorrow, after 1 o'clock, we're going to see that risk for severe weather come back up. Ponca City, Enid, Kingfisher, western Oklahoma. This is the latest risk. We're watching closely. Our tornado index between about 2 o'clock and 8 o'clock is at a 4. Now, we're likely going to see at least a couple thunderstorms ongoing before 2 o'clock. That will have a much lower tornado risk. Really concerned between the window of 2 and 8 o'clock. That's when you start to get more instability building up. Our tornado index right now is at a 2 from Oklahoma City to Chickasha up to Chandler and up into northeastern Oklahoma. So watch predictor at about midnight. Could see a few more storms out across the west. At 4 o'clock in the morning, a couple thunderstorms out across western Oklahoma. This is not expected to be severe. Now, you're still going to at least hear, you're going to hear some thunder across Elk City, Sayre, Clinton at 7 a.m. We'll see a few thunderstorms with some very small hail cores within this from Sayre to Hobart to Altus. That's going to be at 7:30 in the morning. Right now, the morning drive for Oklahoma City, the Guthrie, Stillwater, Norman, Pauls Valley, east of Shawnee and Seminole appear to be okay. At 10:30, a few showers from Enid to Stillwater. A few more storms in southwestern Oklahoma. It looks like we'll get some storms that begin to increase in intensity as we go into the early afternoon. That instability begins to build, so some heavy rain, pockets of heavy rain from Enid to El Reno. And after 2 o'clock, this is when we start to get that line of storms moving in, and this is where that tornado risk will set up. We're going to see at least an embedded tornado threat here and a couple cores, larger hail cores. They'll be around $50, if not a little bit larger than that, right up the turnpike. We'll have to watch this very closely as we go into the afternoon tomorrow. Anytime you get rain coming in during the afternoon commute on a Friday, it's always going to be not fun to drive in. And I know that we have yet even more high school graduations as we go into Friday and Saturday. So family coming in from out of town, it'll be stormy. We'll see a few more storms go up in northern Oklahoma. Let's hope we don't see any more storms. We don't need to see any more rain. Ponca City, Stillwater, Guthrie, Alpha, Watauga over the next, at least for the next couple of weeks or so. As we go into Saturday, that threat for severe weather, it is still out across western Oklahoma from 1 to 10 o'clock. Elk City, Clinton, Cheyenne, Woodward, Alva, out to the Panhandle, to Ponca City, it's a slight risk. Not looking at a risk for the metro. That risk is between 1 and 10. On Sunday, marginal risk for central Oklahoma. It's a slight risk for western Oklahoma, Altus, Elk City, Clinton, up to Woodward. On Memorial Day, it's a marginal risk for storms. Notice how the window is much earlier, 9 o'clock in the morning. We'll see a few storms pop up early in the morning. That will help keep the risk down a little bit as we go throughout the day on Monday, but we're going to see lots of scattered storms from Ponca City to Stillwater, out across western Oklahoma. Right now, with all the data that we have coming in, the more significant severe weather day shaping up to be Tuesday for central and western Oklahoma. Elk City, Clinton, Kingfisher, Enid, Ponca City, down to Ardmore, Seminole, already in a slight risk. And what we do not need to see anymore, but we're now going into the wettest time of the year, 3 to 4 inches of widespread rain for western and northern Oklahoma. That's not what you want to see at all, 3 to 4 inches of heavy rain. And we do see some of that flooding already happening. Let's go up to, this is going to be coming in from Chris Lee. If Chris Lee's available to talk. Hey, Chris Lee, give us an update right now. Chris Lee, what are you seeing and where are you?
Yeah, Damon, we just drove through Laverne, downtown Laverne. Lights are on, but the main intersection in town is flooded. There's just about a foot of water running right across the road there, right in the middle of the town of Laverne. There are a lot of law enforcement and fire department, people like that, out looking around for damage, trying to make sure everybody's okay. In town, everything looks, I mean, it's dark, so it's a little hard to tell, but the lights are on, and I'm not seeing a whole lot of damage here, but we do have some reports of damage a little bit outside of town. We're going to be checking those out, David.
Okay, keep on that there, Chris Lee. So here's your 5+5 day forecast going over the next 10 days. All those days highlighted in red: Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Those are severe weather days. Wednesday and Thursday, we're good. And then we see it again as we go towards the end of next week. And really, I know that out here in Oklahoma, we always say rain. No, we always need rain. We always need rain. We have had so much rain lately, and with June being the wettest month, we really could enjoy not seeing the rain. The wheat crop, we're not that far away from the wheat crop that needs to be picked, and right now the fields are so muddy that they wouldn't even be able to get into the fields. There's fungus that's now growing on some of the wheat. We had a really good wheat crop that was happening. The corn crop in northern Oklahoma, we have seen fields that are underwater. So from an ag standpoint, we're really, really hurting it. So let's just turn off the rain for a little while, but if you're not able to do so.
If you had the lever to do that, you would.
But
Yes, absolutely.
But you don't. Yeah.
For sure, for sure.
We need it to come to an end. Hey, wanted to update you on this as far as Laverne. We just talked to the Harper County Sheriff's Office once again. They heard some reports that a couple of homes were hit. They're just trying to confirm that right now. They said it's in Laverne area, but also that power lines were across Highway 270 west of Log Cabin Corner. At this point, they haven't heard any reports of injuries, so that's good. But you hate to hear that homes could be hit. And we heard a report earlier from a viewer that a home was hit.
Yeah, they said the home, the barn, everything gone. That was the exact language that was in the email sent to us. We followed up trying to get some more information on that. We have not gotten that so far. All of this, of course, coming out of those storms that were coming out of the panhandle of Texas earlier today. In fact, we have some incredible video of that.
About maybe a mile south of
It's just throwing debris around like crazy.
Just look at this. This is just unbelievable. Large, violent tornado on the ground for 30 minutes tonight. And this tracking toward the superstate from the Texas Panhandle. And this is just one of multiple tornadoes that the KFCO weather team has been tracking for you this evening.
Also want to give you an update right now. I-40 back open. This is a story that we have been closely monitoring east of the metro near the Arkansas border. This was the scene around noon today. 2 out-of-control barges slamming into the Weber Falls lock and dam. Those barges would have been...
Might have something south of us. Yeah, it's building back into our south.
Is it?
Yeah.
Let's stop here just for a second.
This is our wind direction here. I see just a really big, let me zoom up. Here's what we're looking at.
Okay. So there's a lot of wind, but there's not a lot of turning.
So I don't know if that's an outflow feature. Because up here you could see the rain, and you know, that tucked in part.
Find those damaged homes.
That's for you for the. If we need to go to commercial, we can do that anytime because the.
Let's go find those damaged homes.
I gotta get to NWS chat. I gotta get these two.
someone, and there was an ambulance headed towards Buffalo. You might call the Buffalo Hospital and see if they've heard of any injuries from this.
All right.
Because that's possible. That could have been what that was right there.
Up here and what. So.
Thank you. So are you going into cut-in mode basically right after this?
Yeah, and we're on Facebook Live right now. Yeah,
So there's that location.
Hello, this is Amy Castor with News 9 out of Oklahoma City, and we are chasing these storms up here, and I just wanted to find out if you had any more injuries. Okay. Yes. Did you know which? I'm sorry. Did you know which side of Laverne that the damage was? Okay. Okay. Yes. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right. Bye. Okay. So they did. They have some damage. She just gave me general. She didn't really have specifics, but she said slap out. There's damage. She hasn't heard of any injuries, but just. She said the bird had some damage, but she didn't know where. So.
So there's a house out the slap out that Vaughn is at right now. The fireman told him that it's his cousin that lived there, and they don't know if he was home or not. But the house is gone, completely down to the foundation. And so they're looking around, they're searching just to make sure and see if he was around, still there.
All right. So.
You want to go to Laverne?
Yeah. Let's do it. So right here.
And we're gonna probably, and it might not be. It might be outside of Laverne, southwest.
Roger, pilot 1.
Who was that you talked to?
The sheriff department and Buffalo.
Okay, here we go. Hey, Justin. Hey, Justin. We just talked. Maybe just talked to the sheriff's department over in Buffalo and said, ask about damage and injuries. They have not heard of any injuries, but they did say there was some damage in or near Laverne, but she didn't know where. So we're gonna go back to Laverne right now and start looking around and take the tornado path to the south-southwest. I mean, if it... Okay, well... Yeah. Yep, we did, and I can tell you the exact road I was on, and it missed a house by about 300 yards, right there. I mean to tell you, it was multiple vortex. We were a quarter of a mile away from it. I mean, they might have some superficial damage there, but if you just follow that path south, I don't know. I mean, hitting a house out here is like a needle in a haystack, but you know, it covered a big area. So we might go back and retrace the path. I know that there's a whole bunch of power lines down. I know right where they are. Come in from the east and we're going to look all around. I have a feeling the south or the west side, because we went on the east side and saw no damage. Me? Yeah. I'm not hearing anything. All I heard was what you said. Marty's headed back that way. We're headed back that way. We're going to check and see. That tornado was a half mile wide.
What intersection is that?
What's that?
What intersection is that? What is it called?
I don't know what it's called.
Okay.
I don't know if it has a name.
Okay. So anyway, we're at, I can't even see. Okay, we're at the Highway 46 and 149 junction, traveling west. Okay, so someone said they heard the people got out before it hit the house. Yeah, we're trying to find out more information to pass along. If any of you have heard of any type of damage from Slap Out to Laverne up towards Buffalo, pass that along. We talked to the Buffalo Sheriff's Office, and pretty much they have the same information that we have. Okay, Brenda, you're talking about the man that's been found and okay. If you could let us know everything that you are hearing about that, and if you're talking about the slap out house that was leveled. Brenda, the man has been found and is okay.
We can go find that if you let us know approximately where it is. Okay, got it. We're on our way.
Okay, so tell me, pass along what you're hearing about.
So there's another house. Yep, go ahead. No, hey, no problem. So there's north of the highway, there's another house that's been heavily damaged. The lady was home
Okay.
when it hit, and she was trapped, but has been rescued.
Okay.
We're going to that house location now. That's going to be, the power lines we saw.
Yeah.
That's going to be north of the highway right there.
Okay.
okay. All right. Yeah, the man is fine. He wasn't out at home.
Okay.
When it hit.
All right. Yeah, you need to pass along the information when you get it. All right. So Val is talking back to the station. He's also talking to Vaughn and some of the other trackers, so he can pass along information to you.
Also, just to let you know that there's another house that's been heavily damaged north of Highway 270. You know where we came across the power lines at? There was a half a mile of power lines down. And so there's, I don't know if it's a mile north of the highway or what. They just didn't know. But there was a lady in the house when the house got hit. She got trapped. They rescued her, got her out of there. She's okay. There's another tornado warning now.
Yeah.
Where is it?
Well, there's one northeast of Buffalo.
Okay.
That's the same one we left. And I don't see anybody up on that one.
All right, we're coming into Laverne right now. We're gonna take a left. We're gonna go south back down to Highway 270, and we're gonna go check, see if there's any more damage. We know that there's one house. We're gonna go find that. That's about 6 or 7 east of Slapout, north of the highway. Lady was rescued out of that house. She was trapped and rescued and is fine. Great news there, obviously. Man.
What are the
So it looks like the power's back on in Laverne now. Good news there. Power's back on in Laverne.
Yeah, this was completely dark when we came through the first time. I would like to go retrace the path of this tornado, see what else it might have hit, because that thing was an absolute monster. I know. I think
half a mile wide, could have been wider than that in places.
And I think about all the power flashes we saw in open country. That have to be affecting somebody.
Right. There's not a lot of houses out far between, which is a great thing because, so, you know,
One thing I could do is zoom in and look for driveways, like where this pathway is. Looks like Vaughn might be moving again. Everybody's moving, so I'm not sure where they're going, but I knew exactly where they crossed. Okay, so how far are we from that location?
we're 6 or 7 miles away.
Okay, so I'm hearing a confirmed tornado 10 miles northeast of Buffalo.
What's that?
A confirmed tornado 10 miles northeast of Buffalo.
Really? Okay, wow. Confirmed tornado 10 miles northeast of Buffalo. Is that in Oklahoma? Confirmed tornado. Confirmed tornado 10 miles northeast of Buffalo.
Okay, I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing what the warning says. So Sarah, you talked about a confirmed tornado. You can let us know where that source came from. We do have radar indicated rotation with the tornado warning, but I don't see confirmation, so we can pass that along. That would be great. So are you going this way?
Yeah, we're gonna go.
Where is it exactly?
It's gonna be, you know where the power lines are down, maybe 6 east of Slap Out
Okay.
or so. It's gonna be just north of the highway. I don't know how far north of the highway, but we're gonna find.
Is that where Vaughn is right now?
No, Vaughn is headed home.
Oh, okay.
He's waiting to cross the power lines. They've got it down to 1 lane of traffic.
Okay.
So we will go off on the dirt roads before we get to that.
Okay. Yeah, I see where